Aistoatsu! Welcome to a very special collab with my friend Amato Cactus. Say hello.
Hello, hello, prickly pals, if any of you are in there. Hi there, and welcome! I am collabing with my friend Veni Okojo, and today we're going to be talking about our favorite characters. Whee!
Oh my god, someone fucking follow me. Hold on. I gotta find out who did that.
OMG, who?
Hold on. I need to put my Twitch alerts up here because you're covering it.
I'm covering the Twitch alert?
Yes, you're covering the Twitch alert. Recruit043, thank you for the follow. Or Sanjo? Is this one of your prickly pals?
I actually don't know. Wait, what was their name again?
Recruit043.
Maybe. I think I heard that name before.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, I've seen them around in the Discord. Yeah, they are.
Yes! All right, we're gonna get some prickly stotato action over here. Okay. I don't know. Introduce yourself. I'll shout you out.
All right then. Hello, I am Matto, Cactus Fairy VTuber, Renaissance Cactus Fairy VTuber, as some may call me. I really like visual novels, making them and playing them, so I do that a lot. I play a new indie visual novel every week on my stream. I play Fate Grand Order every Sundays, and I work on my various projects on Saturday with Sketchy Saturdays, my dedicated art stream. So that I do. I love making games and talking about them. Over to you, Veni.
What, you want me to introduce myself for the prickly pals? I guess I can do that.
Prickly pals are just coming over here.
Okay! Aistoatsu. I'm Veni Okojo. I'm a rhythm and action game streamer. I'm a stoat. I can tell you my backstory. I'm a stoat who ran away from my village to pursue the big city life and to play rhythm games and stream. So that's kind of my thing. I'm very fucking Dave, one of our mods, described me perfectly. When someone asks me who Veni Okojo is, I tell them she is an anthropomorphic stoat who is horny on main and has the musical taste of my dad.
So you like dad rock?
I like Beatles. But yes, I like the classic rock, dad rock, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Hey, well, there's some dad rock I do like, but the Beatles, that's old. That's old. Okay, to be fair, I do like a couple of their songs. I'll make an exception for that.
Right, you're more of the someone listens to, I don't know, fucking Post Malone or some shit.
Wrong! I would never listen to him. My music tastes are too far for your understanding. I listen to a billion gecs. I listen to the music that exists in the 5 dimensions.
And then I ask what you listen to and just like, anime and video game OSTs.
Yep. You got me right there.
I used to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Echo, thank you so much for that, Newey. Very appreciated. All right, I'm good. Do you want to just get into it?
Yeah, let's get right
into
it.
Let me,
Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get into it.
So, we're going to start off with one of, wait. Okay, we're good. We're going to start off with one of Mato's characters. So, basically, the format of this is we're going to go her character, my character, her character, my character. And sort of like that.
Match.
Yeah. And since you're the guest, I will let you start first.
Of course. Oh, my first character is Edelgard von Hresvelg, the titular girl of Fire Emblem Three Houses, unless you count Byleth, but I will get into why I refer to that on here. The leader of the Black Eagle House at Garagmak Academy and the future Emperor of Adrestia, a girl who carries a dignified yet solemn air about her and who wishes to reshape the future of the country she lives in. So, 4 things I like about her. Her design, especially her post-skip design, which you can see on the PowerPoint presentation right there on the left. It actually got me to buy Fire Emblem Three Houses, so when Fire Emblem Three Houses was first announced, I was like very, very vaguely piqued by it. Like I had played a couple of Fire Emblem titles before. I went through Birthright. I went through Awakening. Those are the games I had played prior. And I was like, you know, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to pick up this new Fire Emblem because apparently it has more queer romances in the previous mainline title. We're not counting Echoes. Is only had like one strong, you know, romance if you were a girl or anything like that. So finding out that this one would have more did pique me. But I wasn't really interested in Three Houses until the time skip stuff came along. Then I saw Edelgard's post-skip design. I was like, whoa, that character looks to be exactly my type. And apparently she's plot important and gay. I have to pre-order this game. So I did. And yeah, that was the start of my very long arc with her. I would also argue she is probably the most complex character in Fire Emblem, let alone female Fire Emblem character. Not that the bar is very high or anything, the bar is actually kind of on the floor. Arguably, Fire Emblem Three Houses' actual main character with how much she influences the plot of the game. I cannot stress this enough. None of the events in Fire Emblem Three Houses would have happened. None of Part 2 would have happened without her. She was the big instigating event, and she's like the final boss of one of their routes and a big boss in two of the other routes, and then she's actually your ally in one of them. But you get the idea. I just really liked how much narrative importance she had, and even outside of the game, even on a more metatextual level, she's really important too. The Edge of Dawn is literally a song from her point of view. I don't care how much Dimitri and Claude fans like to spin it otherwise. It is explicitly a song from her point of view. Stop trying to take away women's achievements. God. What else? She was also a big favorite among the dev team. She received a lot of alts in Fire Emblem Heroes and got a lot of trading cards dedicated to her too. So I think her bias among the dev team, and also actually in, what was the next one? What was the next game? Engage. In Engage, she was also the lead of the three house leaders. She's like the face of the house leaders. The other two are just backup. So for me personally, she was definitely intended to be, oh yeah, she's the big one. She's the leader too. Extremely Gatmoe, especially on Crimson Flower Route. Me and Veni will probably get into this later because we both really love her, so. But yeah, and then finally, the only Fire Emblem character that has made me cry. This is true, actually. I cried when I was playing through Golden Wind, I think. Or was it Verdant Wind? No, it was Verdant Wind. And I got to her fight scene. I got to the Enbar Palace scene, and then I defeated her. And then that cutscene happened, and I was devastated. And also just thinking about her general fate in every route makes me kind of devastated.
Fire fate.
Girl does not have it easy. This girl does not have it easy, is what I'm saying. All right, on to you, Veni. What do you have to say?
Well, I actually like Edelgard a lot. She was, when I first played Fire Emblem Three Houses, I did the Silver Snow, I think you said that route?
Yeah, Silver Snow.
Yeah, the non-Edelgard, like, Black Eagles route. And I remember being like, oh, she's like the villain? Okay, I guess. And then I kill her, and I'm like, okay, I guess. But then when I went to Edelgard's route for Crimson Flower, you know, Black Eagle Strike Force route or whatever, I was like, okay, I get her now.
Yeah.
Like, on my original route, I, like, dated Dorothea. She's a really cool character. And then later on, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do the Edelgard route, I have to, like, date Edelgard, right? So I do that, and then I'm like, okay, she's great. super good character. What is Gatmoe?
Okay, so Gatmoe, it is a term in fandom, especially anime fandom, where a character appears one way, but when you kind of get to know them better, they kind of reveal another side of them that is directly contrasts the way you see them. So in Edelgard's case, you look at her portrait right there, you think she's gonna be this very stoic, girl boss type character, this character where you walk up to her and you feel intimidated to be in her presence. She refers to herself as Emperor. She will do anything to reach her goals, commit enough bloodshed. She gives off that impression from her design. But then when you actually get to know her in Crimson Flower, she like gets very, very sweet. She gets very timid and shy around Byleth because she has a big freaking crush on them. She draws pictures of them. She likes things like cats and baby talks to them, but this is more of a spin-off Warriors 3 Hopes thing. She likes a lot of very cute things, and like in her bee support, for instance, she's like, oh, all I want to do is just faff around and be lazy and eat sweets and stuff. And it's stuff like that and how emotional and teary she gets in actuality. The very kind, soft girl underneath that steely exterior. That's Gap Moe. That's Gap Moe. I'm not always a fan of when it's executed badly, but I think for Edelgard, she's executed in a way where I felt genuinely endeared to her.
So it's basically a tsundere?
No, because tsundere is more like when a character is... Okay, well, there's the classic tsundere and the modern tsundere, but tsunderes, as most of us would understand it, is... They're usually characters who kind of like appear abrasive or cruel. Edelgard isn't tsundere to me. She's more kudere to me, I guess. Or classical tsundere, if we are going to call her one. There is a difference, because modern tsunderes are more hot-headed and brash. Think Rin Tosaka from Fate Stay Night, for an example. But in Edelgard's case, she's just more like... She's kind of more repressing, doing a big repression of how she actually feels. It's less, she kind of wants to push someone off to deny her true feelings for whatever reason.
Well, also probably because she wants to appear as, like, the big queen, emperor, whatever, but, like, she kind of just wants to be herself. Like, I really do get that a lot. Like, she has a lot of responsibility on her shoulders and just wants to be just her.
Yeah, that is a big through line in a lot of her Bond conversations, particularly with Byleth, that whole sense of, you know, I never really asked to be put in this position. I mean, if you know her backstory, you would know that, yeah, no, she really didn't. She probably wasn't intended to be the next Emperor of Adrestia, but then all her siblings died and she was the only one who could hold 2 crests. So she ended up being the Emperor by force rather than something she actually wanted to do. And so she's approaching that goal to the best of her ability, of course. Like, she's using her power as Emperor to make the changes she wants to see at the world, to uproot Fodlan's not caste system, its feudal system, and change it so that people who genuinely deserve to be in positions of power get to be there. I mean, jury's out or not whether that would actually work, but it's Fire Emblem. It's obviously not going to get too in depth or critically think about politics that much.
It's not Dune.
It's not Disco Elysium in terms of its political eloquence.
But it's also not Dune. I make that comparison because, like, the first book is all about, you know, Paul Atreides getting the Empire or whatever, and then literally the next book is him not doing a good job at that.
Yeah. I need to read Dune, actually. I took out a copy from the library a couple of days ago, and it's on my reading list.
Yeah. I have not really... I've only known, like, plot elements of it. I just, you know, I'll probably watch the movies, like, when both of them come out or whatever.
Right,
right. Good choice. I did want to ask, you were talking about this a little bit before the stream. We were talking about, like, our favorite Fire Emblem characters and whatever. You mentioned something about one of my favorite characters, Dorothea. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that?
Right. So I think for Prickly Pals who've been around my streams for a while, you know I have a very difficult relationship with the Fire Emblem fandom and with Fire Emblem as a series as a whole. And I think a large part of that is because I did not have a great time between 2019 and I'd say 2020. That was roughly the time, or 2021 actually. I'd say roughly that time period was when I was in the Fire Emblem fandom. I was in there for about 2 years. And so when you're that deep in those sorts of spaces, you're going to inevitably come into like arguments and stuff that will gradually change your opinions of characters. And so the case of Dorothea, I initially really, really liked Dorothea. I thought her writing was really good, and I thought her motivations were compelling, and she had good relationships in all of her supports. She's just a well-written character in general. I still stand by that. But in terms of my personal feelings on her, I went from genuinely liking her to kind of not liking her at all. And I think a large part of that was due to Fire Emblem shipping discourse.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of talking about this stuff in general, but basically, I was an Adaleth shipper. I was a really big Adaleth shipper. I really loved that ship. And initially, I was open to shipping most people with Edelgard in general, but then that kind of whittled down to just shipping Byleth and Hubert with her because everyone else was kind of vitriolic towards Adaleth shippers, particularly Adelthea shippers, who are the Edelgard Dorothea shippers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so there's a lot of vitriol between them. I was harassed by some of them. So, yeah, because of that, I left a hugely bad taste in my mouth, and I don't really like Dorothea, no. So it's just sadly because of those associations.
Yeah.
This is why you don't harass people and just block and move on. Be mature.
Yeah. I really don't like those people who are like, your ship is not as good as my ship, and they're having some weird personal shit about it. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I really don't like that.
Yeah.
But, good choice. Good choice. I really like Edelgard a lot. I should replay Three Houses sometime. I was gonna do Golden Deer, route, because I haven't done that. I've only done Black Eagle Strike Force / Crimson Flower and then Silver Snow. But I don't know, maybe I'll do another route of Black Eagle Strike Force. I don't know.
Hey, if you want to see Monster Girl Edelgard, definitely give Azurmoon a try. I know you don't really like Dimitri. We talked about this before. I know you're not a big fan of Dimitri. That's
we both
fine.
like Dimitri, right?
I'm fine with Dimitri. I'm fine with him. I'm like solidly fine with him. But
I like him.
If you like Monster Girl Edelgard, I recommend that route. You'll get a nice surprise.
I see. Like I never really paid attention like the DLC of the game. Isn't any good?
Oh, you mean the Ashen Wolf stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thoughts as someone who has played it. It's fine. I think the Ashen Wolves are pretty fun characters. I like Yuri a lot. I think Constance is fun. Happy is pretty cute too. And Balthus is a lot of fun. They're a pretty strong ensemble of characters. As for the actual gameplay of the DLC itself, it's pretty short. You're not going to get too much meaty character lore with characters you already know aside from like Byleth or something. And I think there were only 7-8 stages in that DLC, but they are pretty fun. They're a bit of a shake-up compared to the normally expansive sandboxy maps you usually 5 and 3 houses. So I don't know if I'd say if it's worth the $25, but you could probably watch a playthrough on YouTube or something and then watch the cutscenes. I will say, though, that if you like the characters and the lore in general, then you might want to pick up Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, Warriors 3 Hopes, however they call that jump cluster of a title. Because they do expand on the characters more, like, oh, surprise, here's what these characters' dads look like. Surprise, here's some more depth about these characters' relationships. It's also kind of an AU too, so certain events did not happen, and so certain characters have different relationships with each other. So it's fun in that respect too. Also, Shez, apparently, the player character of Warriors 3 Hopes, is interesting in their own right. So, yeah.
That's neat. I never really was interested in 3 Hopes. I thought it was just like, it's 3 houses again! Is that the case?
So from what I've heard from people who have actually played it is that the supports there are really good, arguably even gayer than in base 3 houses. There's a lot of sexual tension in those supports compared to 3 houses. Not to say that 3 houses doesn't have them, but I think part of it is because the localizer of 3 Hopes was different to the one of 3 houses. So, as you probably know, or 3 Houses was localized by Nintendo Treehouse. And so Nintendo Treehouse has this reputation that they sometimes leave out things. They sometimes change the meaning of things for no apparent reason. That sort of thing. The localizer of...
Three Hopes.
The localizer of Three Hopes was 8-4. And 8-4 does a really, really good job with localizing things from Japanese into English and vice versa. For reference, they also did Undertale's Japanese translation, and that is very, very well received. It carries across the tone of the work so well, and it's a big part of why it's so popular in Japan.
Yes.
So, yeah, the quality of translation is a lot better in Three Hopes, and so you're going to get a lot more insane UST between characters and new ships you would never even think about prior. What I'm saying is, if you like that sort of thing, definitely pick up Three Hopes. If you're picking it up for the plot or for any kind of resolution towards certain mysteries in Three Houses, then you might want to reconsider. There's some plot-related decisions that actually have made me not want to pick up the game, but the supports are great.
Also, hi Zom, hi Yomi, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Yomi was someone that I knew you were gonna have a lot of fun with. Yomi Quinley, because I remember when I was like talking to some of my mods, I was talking about Yomi, and someone was like, "That's a Monocore character, get her on!"
Dave. That was Dave. He mentioned Yomi to me, and I was like, twin tails, twin pigtails, swirly glasses.
We have a twin tail swirly glasses character in this presentation that may or may not be made by you later on.
Maybe we'll find out soon enough.
Yomi said, "I saw your swirly glasses thing, Cactus. I approved deeply." Yeah, good choice. Let's move on to the next character. All right, so this is one that I really like a lot. Too much. Her name is Backseat from My Little Pony: Friendship's Magic. She is a side character that was in like 2 episodes and then got written out in another one. But like, I love her so much, and let me explain why. Growing up in the New York-inspired Manhattan, Babs was bullied for not having a cutie mark, being called a blank flank. But typically in the lore, like, ponies have what's called cutie marks, which are basically like your passion, your destiny, your true calling, or whatever. And people who do not have those blank flanks early on get really bullied for it. And it's kind of like a representation in our world. When she visits Ponyville, which is the main location of My Little Pony: Magic, she's bullied. She bullies her cousins and her friends in retaliation because she was bullied in Manhattan or whatever, and she's like, okay, my bullies aren't here. I can take it out on these people. Yeah. But she learns to direct her vitriol towards standing up to the actual bullies in a simple but surprisingly effective arc. She appeared in 2 episodes. She appeared in One Bad Apple, her, episode where she does her stuff. She appeared in another episode, Apple Family Reunion, where, she had a little thing with Apple Bloom. And then we never saw her again. And then, I swear to God, I was watching season 4 of Friendship is Magic, when it was airing. And I remember there was, some scene with the Cutie Mark Crusaders, which the little kid surrogate characters, the little kids in the audience. They were like, oh my God, it's a letter from my cousin, Backseat. Dear Cutie Mark Crusaders, the writers have no use for me anymore as they aren't really talented to utilize various types of characters that could shake up the status quo. Therefore, I'm gonna be written out of the show by having a cutie mark with no fanfare. Okay! And I'm just like, I'm never watching the series again. I saw a few episodes after that, but I'm just like, no. Let me explain why I love this character so much. I think the main thing is that her personality was just different from other characters. The Cutie Mark Crusaders are all just kind of bland, oh, we're the happy trio doing our stuff. Babs was different. Babs had an attitude. Babs was the Tabasco sauce on top of your rice or whatever. It added a bit of kick to the dynamic and everything. The other Cutie Mark Crusaders did nothing to stand up to Diamond Chair and Silver Spoon, which are the bullies of the show. But Babs does in her debut episode, making her have a ton more agency and like just badassness to her character and everything. Her accent's extremely cute. Babs speaks in a Brooklyn-inspired Manhattan accent. Hey, she talks like this. Forget about it. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, which makes her stand among other characters in the best way possible, because every other character talks in, like, either, you know, a full
Standard
British
American
accent.
dialect?
What?
Standard American dialect or British?
Yeah. Like, standard American
Two
dialect.
accents.
Standard American dialect, a British accent, or a Western accent. No, she was different than any other character in the series. And she added depth and presence, and not just, this is another Pony of the Week character that we'll never see again. You know, like, you know, one of Pinkie Pie's sisters or whatever. It was later revealed that she was actually a leader of a branch, a Manhattan branch, of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And if I was writing the show at the time, I would have episodes that take place in Manhattan, a completely different setting from any other setting in the show, where you explore the world building, flesh out Babs' character, maybe introduce more characters people can fall in love with. You'd have a lot more, you know, varied cast and not just, you know, this is the Kingdom Hearts Crusader, this is the main six. They do things! Just bog standard of the week stuff. You could have an episode being Manhattan where it's like, what is Babs doing? What is she gonna do with the characters? Also, she cute. I want to give her a hug. Like, I really want to get, like, a plushie of her. And, like, I remember when I was still a young Pegasus star, like 15 or 16, I remember being like, I need a plushie of her. And I found one, but it was too expensive. It was like $200. And since Gen 5's the thing now, no one's making, like, stuff of the fandom anymore. It's all Gen 5 stuff now. So I can't even get a custom plush if I wanted to.
Surprised, actually, because most of the fan works I see of My Little Pony is of the Friendship is Magic season, Gen 4.
Well,
Most
now that
of
Gen
the
5 is
culture.
like a thing, people have kind of moved on to that. The My Little Pony fan base, particularly Friendship is Magic, is dying. It's like, as soon as BronyCon ended, the fandom died. So I'm just like, I need more of my ponies. But yeah, I was obsessed with this character back then. I love her so much, and she's actually gonna inspire a character in a future project of mine that I'm just ripping off and be like, this is just a different character, different name, same personality. Because I feel like the writers missed out on so much potential with her character, with her backstory, with world building. She could have been an excuse to world build, but they didn't. They're just like, let's do another Pinkie Pie episode. She has a party or whatever, you know?
Yeah. From my understanding of Friendship is Magic stuff, like, as someone who was only very tangential to the Brony Pegasister fandom when it happened, I hear that after, like, a certain season, the kind of writing started dropping off in quality, and it started becoming
season
very
5
weird.
was when series started to drop off.
Right.
Like, arguably season 2 and 3 were, like, the peak. A lot of people, I remember the discourse about MLP. I remember in the discourse about Twilight Sparkle becoming an alicorn.
Yeah!
Everyone hated it! And we were like, because Lauren Faust, she left the show around, like, beginning of season 3. And everyone was like, this is going against Lauren Faust's plan to the series and everything. But no. Lauren Faust said this was planned. Like, she was going to be an alicorn from the start. But I think that was probably the last we ever really saw of Lauren Faust's involvement in Friendship is Magic. Because everything else just like, what if we brought back old villains like Chrysalis and King Sombra? Boom, they're back now. They just retread a lot of shit. I hated it.
Yeah.
But apparently Gen 5 is a sequel to Gen 4, takes place like hundreds of years after, so I don't know. I may have more curiosity and see what it's about, but like, the comics are better. It's fine.
Yeah, there is that sense, yeah, of like when something might be better with a future installment, but you just don't care enough to check it out because, well, you've been kind of burned by the installment you were on in some way. Like, you're hoping your favorite character to get more of a showing or better treatment, and they just never got that. So I feel ya. I completely feel ya. I feel that way with Homestuck, actually. I never really mentioned it here or at all.
One of the characters I was gonna add was fucking Carcat or John.
Yeah, but for me it was Calliope. I was in the Homestuck fandom at a very, very weird time in the comic. It was 2011, 2012, and Calliope had just been introduced. We just got the reveal that she was not a troll. She was a cherub. And so I got attached to her pretty quick, and I was hoping she would get a pretty cool arc or something. But she never really got that, and then the epilogues happened, and she was just... her arc was kind of just shat upon. I don't know. I'm not a Homestuck expert. You could always correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not a
Homestuck expert either, don't worry.
Her arc left a bad taste in my mouth at the end, and I just didn't care to revisit it, even with all this new stuff happening with, oh, Homestuck 2, yada, yada, yada.
Beyond canon! It's like, I don't care.
Beyond canon! I do not care! I just don't care.
Yeah. Because we're not 13, 14 anymore. Like, Homestuck should have ended when it ended.
Yeah, it really... I just genuinely feel like Act 7 was the perfect conclusion. That open-ended conclusion to the comic was perfect. We did not need the epilogues. I'm like, stop trying to be relevant, Homestuck! You should just be dead! And then people would have a better opinion of you as a work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, having, like, I would be fine if, like, they didn't do Homestuck 2, but so stuff like Hive Swap and everything, because I like that Hive Swap thing and, like, all, like, the friend sim stuff, but, like, they should have just been like, let's make Homestuck again! It's like, no, why?
No,
you're ruining a good reputation.
And even Hive Swap's kind of in dev hell right now. We got part 1 and part 2, and then we just haven't heard a blip of it since. It's, I don't know, very poor planning on their part, I think. Just poor organization in general. It's a cautionary tale, I think.
Recruit says, I'm gonna be honest, I lost a bet and have to watch My Little Pony. Never list of characters I want to punt. The list is Spike. I like Spike. Rainbow Dash. Every single one of the Cutie Mark Crusaders and their classmates. And Pinkie Pie times 9? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Ponies! They're just ponies!
They're just little animal dudes! And
they're just
you want to punt every
horses.
kid in the series?
Okay, to be fair though, when I watched Miyazaki's Ponyo, I kind of wanted to punt Ponyo.
Yeah. Little bit, but like the point is you get used to her, you know. Pinkie Poe can be removed. Oh, Punky Poe can be removed for that list, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh god, I could make an entire fucking stream dedicated to, like, my experiences in the pony fandom, because there's a lot I can go over. I was kind of, like, a little part in that, like, a little voice, and it was kind of funny.
I'm morbidly curious about this.
Can we talk to you after the stream about it? I don't know. But, like,
maybe.
With Babs, going back to the point of Babsy, I really like her because she was different, but the writers just didn't know how to handle her, so they were just like, I remember. Thank you. I cannot read that. Hold on. Why are my redeems just there? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go back to just me for just a second. Can I just have this be a separate window, please? Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, window capture.
Please, Twitch.
There we go. Alright.
Ha!
Wait, that didn't work. Hold on.
Wait, it didn't?
Fuck's sake!
Boo.
Can I... There we go! Okay, we're back.
Hey.
We're so back!
We are so back!
Okay. I just want to read who followed me. Just Takumi thing. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, I really like MLP. It's really good. You should watch it sometime. Anyway, on to the next character.
All right, we're going for our favorite controversy-bringing character, Griffith Berserk. Let's go! The former leader of the legendary mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk, now a member of the demonic God Hand, a charismatic, beautiful, yet incredibly troubled young man, to say the least. Things I like about him: his design. My model. His design, legitimately one of the most beautiful men in fiction. Just look at him. Characterization that doesn't spoon-feed you. Since Griffith's not the type to voice his feelings, you, as the reader, have to figure out how he ticks from the character around him. Sadly, this means a lot of people misinterpret him. Hi, 90% of the Berserk fandom. His arc in the Golden Age. Watching him rise and fall from grace is a emotional roller coaster. If you have read Berserk, you will completely understand what I mean. Whatever homoerotic insanity is going on between him and Guts, because holy shit, those two are the blueprint. I am a Griff Guts truther. I will say it here, I will say it now. Let's go.
Didn't he essay a character?
Yeah, he did. He's pretty fucked up. When I said he had issues, I mean he did. But Guts did too. They're both fucked up people. A lot of people like to overplay Griffith's stuff, and it's not to say that it's not bad. It absolutely is. But a lot of people tend to underplay the fact that, no, Guts absolutely is... Guts did it too. Guts essayed a character as well. They're both guilty about it. They're both not exactly great people. Yeah.
But didn't he, like, murder the whole fucking Order of the Hawk?
Band of the Hawk? So here we're gonna go into Griffith Understanding 101. Let's go. He murdered the entirety of the Band of the Hawk because they were pedestaling him in a way that dehumanized him. He did not feel... How do I put this? They were not treating him as, like, an equal or anything like that. They were treating him as like a walking god instead of the human he actually was. They were not he had no opportunity whatsoever throughout any part of the Golden Age to really open himself up to someone and, I don't know, have all his issues be resolved, have any sort of emotional rock. The closest he ever got was with Guts. And that failed because of Guts' own issues. And because of this horrible shoujo miscommunication arc, it all failed, and that's why Griffith ended up going berserk and killing everyone. So basically, it is a cautionary tale as to why communication is incredibly important. I cannot emphasize this enough.
Are you saying his genocide was justified?
No, it absolutely was not. None of it was justified. I'm saying that he was fucked up. He's fucked up, but so is everyone else. I'm saying that there is... How do I put this? It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain unless I get my personal favorite analyst on, like, my personal favorite analysis of Berserk up. But I guess in summary, it's more like... It's about the kind of things that, I don't know, it's about the kind of experiences one would have, like, the kind of experiences trauma would have, and the kind of horrible things it will inevitably lead you to do if it's left unchecked, if those things are left unchecked, if you don't open up and talk about them. And I think the big part of Griffith and Guts not communicating and things just kind of getting worse and worse and worse between them, and then misinterpreting each other's cues. Like, I think a lot about the scene at the prom rose ball scene where Guts misinterprets what Griffith is telling to Princess Charlotte as, oh, he doesn't consider me a friend because he does not consider the Band of the Hawk his friends, and that, you know, he considers them comrades, but he doesn't consider them friends because they do not see him they do not see him as an equal, but as a superior. And so he acknowledges this, but I think what Griffith and Guts fail to communicate with each other is that they're kind of the exception to the rule, that they did genuinely really like each other and have a strong bond with each other. But that was destroyed because Guts left because he felt like, I want to be on your equal side, because Guts thought that Griffith's statement at prom rose applied to him when it didn't. And also Griffith was out of earshot to him. He did not know Guts was there and listening in on him. And Griffith, in turn, did not learn, why was Guts leaving me? Like, he's literally the only person keeping me stable. And so as soon as Guts leaves, he starts spiraling like crazy because he's like the one source of emotional support he has. Very unhealthy. I know. That's the point. They're not healthy. But yeah, it's that whole sense of like their individual traumas, the shit they went through, kind of led them to making the decisions they did that would come to bite them back in the ass throughout the Golden Age. And it ends with, well, the eclipse, which is, well, words cannot describe it. So I guess I've said my piece. There is a writer, again, who has written what I said, but much better. Her name is Ariel. Her blog is called A Lovely Burn, and I think she writes the best, I guess, pointers on how Griffith is actually meant to be interpreted versus how the fandom, I guess, actually interpreted. And that's not to say you're obligated to like him or anything like that. I think genuinely the eclipse is very disturbing. I actually cannot read through it because of how intense and upsetting it is. Even Miura himself was like, if I saw myself, my 20-year-old self who wrote that, this is him at like 40 or something, if I saw what I wrote, then I would go up and say like, what the hell are you doing? What I'm saying is, like, I think it's fine, perfectly fine to dislike Griffith as a character, but the dominant reason for why people dislike him is not from something that is like, is not from like an opinion that has come from critically reading the text, I think. Because again, Berserk is not a series that spoon feeds you stuff. It really isn't. You have to glean a lot of the stuff from reading between the lines.
Yeah, how I interpret, because I've read Berserk all the way up until when they first get on, like, the dreaded ship, it took them 10 years!
The ship arc!
Yeah, I was about to reach that and kind of stop for a bit. I will get back into it, though. I really like Berserk. But
yeah.
How I interpret Griffith is that he does not have any sort of caring feelings towards anyone. At a young age, all he wanted was that castle in the sky when he was a young kid. And he just wanted that, and anyone in his path was just an obstacle to get to that, or a stepping stone, including Guts, Casca, the entirety of the Band of the Hawk, Princess Charlotte, everyone. And his, like, quote-unquote relationship with Guts was just a front, because he knew, you are gonna get me places. I'm not gonna get you on Band of the Hawk because I like you. I'm getting you on because I can use you. And so that's kind of how I think that's how, like, most people interpret it, but I think that's kind of the interpretation that, like, you don't really like, is that, like, Griffith has no feelings? Is that accurate?
The text itself refutes that, because one particular scene that comes to me whenever I hear that opinion come across is when Griffith is touring with the Band of the Hawk when he's like 13 or something, and he's just rescued Casca. There's a scene where one very young page boy, I'd say about 8 or 9 or something, dies in front of him on the battlefield. And when Casca watches as Griffith witnesses this, she notices how deeply upset he is by that. It is the inciting incident that causes him to sell himself to a pedophile and get sexually assaulted by him. And when Casca comes to, confront him about this in the river and to try and say, like, why did you do this to yourself? Griffith is trying to talk strong. He's trying to put upon the image of, I am the strong and infallible leader of the Band of the Hawks. But while he's doing that, he's actually self-harming himself, and he looks very deeply unwell. So I guess what that, and also that the image of the dead boy, like right before he sacrifices everyone to the Band of the Hawk, like keeps on ringing him for time and again. It is a reminder of his guilt about how much he genuinely does care about everyone he's ever met. Because I think you have to also realize, too, with the whole concept of sacrifices and everything, you cannot just sacrifice someone you hate. That would make the sacrifice meaningless. With the God Hand, I think especially Boyd, or was it Ubik, one of the Godhead mentioned that in order for a sacrifice to be successful, it has to be someone you feel a very deep amount of love for. And so with Griffith sacrificing the entirety of the Band of the Hawk, that, I guess, you can probably guess what dots I'm trying to connect. It's not because he wanted to use them. It's because he very much deeply loved them, but also because he felt very deeply betrayed by them too. Keep in mind also that at the state he was at by the time the eclipse was happening, by the time he was making the sacrifice, he had nothing left. He was just going to be, he legitimately had nothing left. The one person he felt his literal emotional anchor was going away because Casca was telling him to, and he did not want that. All the other members of the Band of the Hawk weren't able to be led by him anymore. They didn't see him as like, he's someone we can look up to, someone who can lead us to a better life and stuff like that. Instead, he's just this pitiful thing who will never get anything done, and his vision of Casca being his wife in the village and stuff isn't something pleasant for him. It's one of the things I think that gets him close to tipping over, because with the image of the Behelit and stuff, it's clear that it's not, it's not something he actually wants. I don't know, it's that whole sense of like he's lost everything. He's in absolute despair, and to become an apostle, you have to be in a state of absolute despair to do it. So, I don't know, it's that sort of thing that makes me feel like Griffith could not have felt that way for him to be where he was now.
Yeah, I do kind of see him feeling like he's betrayed by the Band of the Hawk, because I remember because he, had sex with Charlotte, or S.A., depending on your interpretation.
Yeah, Charlotte.
The king found him and was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, but I'll let you be tortured in the bottom of the pit, or whatever. And he felt betrayed by his band because he didn't immediately come to rescue him. They took their time. And I remember a very specific moment where Guts found Griffith on the ground, and he was like in bandages with his like Band of the Hawk thing with like his deformed face, which you never see. We never see his mutilated, deformed face. I think Guts may have like taken off his helmet and saw it. Like, nope, you're putting that back on.
When he saw it.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that I get your interpretation, Griffith puts his hands on Guts's. He was trying to choke him, being like, "Why did you take so long?" So I kind of get it, because of that. That's one of the deciding factors where he's like, okay, Band of the Hawk needs to leave. I need to kill all of them. This is the perfect way to do that. So I kind of get that. I kind of get that interpretation now.
I think for me, with that particular choking scene, it was more specifically directed at Guts of why did you leave me? What the hell? You only come to me now when I'm in this state? What the hell was wrong with you? I guess it was less aimed at the Band of the Hawk specifically, and more specifically at Guts, because Guts is the really big target of his obsession. Like, it's emphasized time and again. Guts is literally who keeps him alive as he's being tortured time and again. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Like, it's a very controversial pick, but like, everyone has like that character who like
the controversy character.
The controversy character.
I just keep on picking the controversy character.
Also, like someone. Griffith's not this type of person to you, but like there are characters who are like, I can fix them type of characters. Like I kind of get that, where it's like, I like the troubled person no one likes. I get that. I get that.
With Griffith, it's less I can fix him. No, by the time he becomes Neo-Griff, becomes Femto, I'm like, no, he's far past any hope of fixing by that point. He's gone off the deep end. But it's more just looking at him sadly and going like, oh dear. If only that miscommunication arc hadn't happened. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I like how you emphasize the golden age arc as the miscommunication
No,
arc.
I call it the miscommunication arc because Kentaro Miura took a lot from a lot of shoujo manga, such as Kaze to Ki no Uta and Rose of Versailles. Griffith actually was basically, design-wise, he was like basically what if Lady Oscar was a guy. And personality-wise, he takes a lot from Gilbert Cocteau from Kazuki. But what I'm basically saying is that it does take a lot of shoujo influences. This is kind of more pronounced later on in the Millennium Falcon arc. A lot of the big shoujo stuff happens here, but it also happens a lot during the Golden Age too. So yeah, no, the miscommunication arc, Berserk is secretly a shoujo. That's what the guys will not tell you.
What is a shoujo, people who don't know?
You want me to clarify? So
Yes.
shoujo is manga marketed towards girls. So manga where it's like demographically marketed. That doesn't mean only girls read it, but you get the drift. It's like manga where there's more of an emphasis on character dynamics and relationships and their internal worlds rather than the action and stuff. And there's a lot of that in Berserk.
So basically the opposite of a shonen.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say the opposite of a shonen. Actually, a lot of shonen nowadays these genre categories are kind of blurring in with each other now. If you look at some of these shonen that's being put into Shonen Jump now, stuff like Takopi's Original Sin or Ruri Dragon, stuff like that, they feel more shoujo-y or hard to categorize. And likewise, some shoujo manga like Yona of the Dawn and whatnot have great action and political set pieces. So I feel like more like it's just the genres are blending and that these genre categories, these gendered categories are becoming more and more meaningless. I think nothing more so than in recent reports where I think half now or most of Shonen Jump's readership aren't cis boys, they're cis girls now. Because of series like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. We're gonna take a small little break. I need to use the bathroom. We will be back in just a sec. I'm gonna run an ad break. Stay tuned, we'll be back in just a sec.
We'll be back!
Aistoatsu. We're back. Decided to use the back.
Hello, we are back. We are so back, as the internet people say.
It's so over. All right, let's move on to the next character. So, kind of a much lighter character than Griffith. We have Jose Carioca. So let me give you the backstory on this. So I was like 3, right? And in my village, my mom took me to this like kind of nanny babysitter place, you know, stay at their place for a little bit while I watch stuff. And I remember one of the VHSs that they played was the Three Caballeros. And I remember watching it, and I remember being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, because I was 3. And it has the weirdest trip out scene in any Disney movie ever. Makes 3 pink elephants look like a goddamn walk in the park. But I remember being like, that green parrot. I like that green parrot a lot. Fast forward when I was in college. I was sort of still figuring out myself, because that's what college is for. And I remember being like, you know what? I want to watch Three Caballeros again. I want to watch this and see if it was as weird as I remember it. It was as weird as I remembered it. Then I remember being like, that parrot, mine now. So, Jose Carioca is a Brazilian parrot who first met Donald in the 1943 film Saludos Amigos, but is more known for his appearance in the 1944 film The Three Caballeros. Suave, quick-witted, and knowledgeable, Joe had a young Veni smitten with delight. And horny, but I didn't write that down. Things I like about him. He has very clear signs of queer coding, so this is gonna get into like tinfoil hat Tumblr shipping shit, but let me explain.
I love that shit!
So, while many interpretations claim Jose is straight, he likes girls and stuff, there are undeniable moments of sexual tension between him, Donald, and the third Caballero, Panchito. There is a scene of the group getting out of the beach or whatever, the beach scene, and like I think Donald like was trying to kiss a girl, but accidentally kisses Jose instead, and then we're going, that's canon. And it wasn't like, guy was like, Donald, I'm not a girl, but like it was treated more light and fair and not like, gay, gross. You know what I mean? Like, the most popular ship among Disney fans, like on Tumblr, is Donald, Jose, and Panchito in a polycule.
Not know this, but that rules.
I ship it. Like, I remember on Twitter, I follow a lot of like Three Caballeros fan artists and stuff like that. All they do is draw like Jose and Donald doing stuff, not explicit, but like, you know, smooching, holding hands, that sort of stuff. Jose and Panchito doing stuff as well. Speaking of, this man fucked with my sexuality. So back when I was in college, I was like, okay, I'm lesbian, you know, I'm strictly, you know, lesbian, maybe like a femboy here and there, but it's kind of it, right? But I swear to God, he's one of the reasons I'm bisexual now. Like, you may look at this design and go, oh yeah, he's cute, I guess. No. Watch the stuff he's in. You go, I'm feeling things I didn't know I could feel. He's just very like suave and smooth and like seductive. And I'm just like, how can a Disney character do this to me? Disney has no other characters like this. So he's genuinely attractive in both like design and personality, and I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. He also has a wide variety of appearances. Jose actually has his own comic series, almost exclusively in Spanish, of like him living in the big city life and everything, seeing in multiple like outfits. There's a design of like, you know what? I'm gonna go find it right now. 1 second. Google Jose Carioca comics.
Hold on.
It's him? Yeah. It's this. Save image. Jose. A WebP file? Fuck it. Boom. There. He's like in a little outfit, like a little hat, and like a little like city thing. I really like that. That's really neat. Like that's super cool.
I love it
But,
when
like,
that happens.
Just two girls talking about their crushes. Yeah. Like
Cartoon character.
Jose is like definitely like someone where I'm like you know how like furries, whenever they like talk about how they got into furry stuff, they're usually like Robin Hood. Disney's Robin Hood made me a furry.
Still from Stoat
Jose Karaoke made me bisexual and not lesbian. But yeah, and you may notice there's a little figure right in the corner.
Nendoroid?
It's not a Nendoroid. They are making a Nendoroid of Jose.
Yeah, no, I saw his Nendoroid. That was why I was asking. I searched him up and I was like, holy crap, he's getting a Nendo.
Yes, he's actually extremely popular in Japan, along with
I can imagine.
There is like, you know, all the fan artists I talked about? Most of those are Japanese people in Japan. Like, it's Japanese people love Jose and Panchito for some reason. And they ship them constantly. And I'm like, yeah, make me part of that, please. Thank you. But the little figure in the corner is not a Nendoroid, but it's actually a Band Presto model. I think it was a line called Fluffy Parade or something.
Okay. Pop-Up Parade?
And
no, that wasn't it. That's Good Smile. My bad.
No, I think it was Good Smile. I think they distributed it, but like, oh, go on.
No, go on. Please continue.
Okay, yeah. He has like a little like cane and stuff like that. I will also show you a thing of that. Jose Karaoke Band Presto. Yeah! So they had two different designs. Fluffy Puffy, that was what it was called. So they had two different designs for Jose Karaoke that I immediately bought on eBay, and I'm like, I will wait. So this is the first one. This is actually the same image I took it from. It's him with a little cane and stuff, or not the cane, the umbrella or whatever. And there's another one of him in his usual, like, Three Caballeros, like, garb with a sombrero. Let me get that up really quick. Yeah, this one. And this one as well. It's like a little sombrero, and it's like that. Like, all three of the... Like, there were 4 figures in it. There was Donald, Jose, and Panchito, all with the 3 and, like, the sombrero. But they knew Jose was so popular, they were like, have him in his regular design. But yeah, and then I'll show you the actual lineup of the figures right here. So they had in this lineup Jose, Panchito, and Donald. All like the little like sombrero stuff. But they also had Jose in his regular garb. Maybe it's kind of neat. But yeah, I love this character so much. He's great. I really wish... You kind of see this with a lot of characters that I'm going to be showing off. I wish there was more... I still say Razorgun with stream. I wish there was more stuff that Jose was in. The only stuff he was in after Three Caballeros was a bit on House of Mouse. You remember House of Mouse? It was like a 90s to 2000s.
I was very familiar with it. Watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah. He was in House of Mouse. And then he was also in DuckTales, the new reboot, which he was in like one episode. But the one that got me interested the most, there was I believe it was a Philippines-only show for a while, before Disney Plus came along, called The Legend of the Three Caballeros. And it was exclusive to the Philippine regions. It was like on a Disney Life app or something. And it was so unknown. But then they bought Disney Plus, and then was like, holy shit, I need this. But because Disney didn't see the immediate profits of the Three Caballeros, like the Legend of the Caballero show, because it was region locked, Philippines only, and they just put on Disney Plus to be like, okay, just put it on there, just be done with it. We never got a season 2. I beg, I pray to whatever God you believe in that there will be a season 2 of Three Caballeros. Because, like, the dynamic between Jose, Donald, and Panchito, the suave one, the feisty one, and Donald being more of the straight man, even though he's not straight in my opinion, is, like, so infatuating. And you can do so much. There could be a fucking entire TV show that's not really Legendary Cowboys. It's more like the Timon and Pumbaa show. Remember that back in the day? It was the Timon and Pumbaa show.
Oh, I remember that.
Where like they just did things. They could have done that, but they don't. And I'm just like, why? Why not? Like, you could do so much of those characters. They just didn't do anything. I really wish there was a video game based on them. Something I want to do that like showcases like them fighting things and having a good old time and being besties and stuff. I really want that, but like they don't do that, and I'm just like, why not? You know, I don't know. I have tons of feelings about Jose, but like,
I completely get it. Yeah, when I was younger too, I also latched on to a lot of these like more minor characters and big animated properties. Like the one that comes immediately to mind for me right now was the brave little toaster Ghost of Mars. One specific character in that strange sequel of an animated film. Her name was Tinselina. She was this little angel, this little tree angel who came along with the Viking probe to Mars or whatever. And she was really cute. I remember watching the tapes over and over again from the library and just watching it for her. So yeah, maybe an early Matto crush, who can say. You unlock new Matto lore.
Hashtag battle lore, hashtag Veni lore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Jose a lot. I just wish he was in more stuff. And
Right.
Babs too. Like a lot of characters, like you said, I have a lot of characters that just aren't utilized enough. And I just go,
Yeah.
I could do so much more if given the right opportunity. Like as a creative, and I can just say without going into further detail, I'm like a creative IRL. I really want to do, like, be in properties of, like, less utilized characters to give them their spotlight. Because I know that there is an audience for these type of characters. Less Babsy. No one likes Babsy except, like, me. But, like, Jose Carioca, I know, has an audience. Along with all the other three Caballeros. Like, there needs to be more stuff with them. Because, like, Disney, you know, much as you hate Disney, they know mostly what they're doing with like their properties, their Star Wars, their Marvels. But if those run dry, and they are starting to run dry, if not already, and they want to go back to like their core properties, their Mickey Mouses, their Donald Ducks, their Goofies, they could totally just be like, you know what? Season 2 of Legend Through Caballeros or a new Through Caballeros show, it would make them so much money if given the right marketing. Because I know there's an audience for that, including me! You know, I will shout to the rooftops that I love Jose Carioca and Panchito and Donald. Like, just give me the property to do that with. They just don't do that, you know?
Be like me and take the core of that character and put it into your own OCs.
That's what I'm doing with Babseed.
Yeah!
Alright,
Oh!
next character.
Yeah, next character. Oh, we've got a fun one. Undyne from Undertale, the captain of the Royal Guard in the Underground. Hot-blooded and crass, but loyal to her friends and passionate about her hobbies. Things I like about her. Her theme, songs. Yes, she has multiple. Spear of Justice is punchy and fun. It's, good for a lot of hyper memes, that sort of thing. But Battle Against a True Hero is where her music really shines. That was what really got me attached to her as a character. She is also Gap Moe. She seems tough and crass on the surface, but she gets blushy around the shy and nerdy alfies. She's also a talented pianist, and she actively looks after her friends and the children in her community. She's able to be very quiet and introspective when she wants to be. Her No Mercy route battle. I think it's more emotionally impactful than Sans' battle. Don't at me. Since Undyne's going all out against you, the player, whereas Sans is just kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll fight you. Yeah. And also, she's gay as hell. It still impresses me that a character this prominent in indie game fandom is canonically a lesbian. That's super cool. I was really impressed with it back when the game first came out, when I was like 16, 17, and I'm still very fond of it now. I'm like, that's so cool. It's so cool that we have a character this prominent who is also a lesbian.
Yeah, they're canonically in a relationship with Alphys.
Yeah! I should say also that while Undyne is the character I'm featuring here, I made a point to only feature one character per series in this presentation. So, but if I didn't apply that rule to myself, if I didn't, I would put both Undyne and Alphys on there because they're both tied for me. I just have kind of differing relationships with them, but they're both equally important to me. I love Alphys very, very deeply.
You want to go into why I like Alphys?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the short and straight version would be like, literally me. But
Short, not straight.
yeah, but to go more in depth, I think like she's another one of those controversial favorites. I think we're noticing a pattern between me and my favorite kinds of characters. I like the controversial ones. But in Alphys' case, I feel like she's very compelling in how, I don't know, how she seems like a nerdy, cutesy character on the surface. Then you kind of dig a bit deeper into what she actually did during the pacifist route and stuff, and you realize, oh, she's a bit, it's screwed up, actually, and I love her for that. Go off, Queen.
Yeah. I do. I do like a lot of Undertale's characters. And speaking of Undertale characters, we're going into Sans because we're gonna
Sans Undertale. Oh shit, it's him. He does the thing
it's him. So Sans Undertale. I have a history with this guy that dates all the way back to when I was like 15. So let me give you a little bit of backstory for him. So Sans from Undertale, the guy from Smash Bros, the dude from all the fan games, the person who in an evangelical show was talked about being devil or something. Have you seen that? There's a clip.
I remember that. I distinctly remember that.
There was a clip. I'll say it to the audience who doesn't. There's a clip of like, I think it was some sort of evangelical show. I don't remember the name. It was like
800. It was the 700 Club. The 700 Club. That was it. Yeah.
It was the 700 Club, and it was a call-in thing with like, I don't remember if it was Billy Graham or someone else, but it was someone, and they were like, so my kid, let's Kojo, thanks for going, raise your gun. They were like, my kid has like this weird phone wallpaper of like this demonic looking skeleton with a blue jacket and a glowing eye. And everyone who watched it was like, that's Sans! What the fuck? So, a little backstory. Yeah, it was really funny because like it kind of speaks to a lot of like boomers about really any character. They see a lot of characters as just like weird, perverse, demonic, etc. It's kind of like the satanic panic all over again, but like in modern day. Where anything edgy, it's automatically satanic. Get that out of here. Anything with the message against the church, get that out of here. You know what I mean? Boomers they don't have fun. But
I wonder what the church would think about Undyne. I genuinely wonder.
Demonic lesbian fish. We must kill her to the stake.
Yeah.
But about Sans himself, he's funny and lax with a dark side. Sans is the epitome of the joke character. Literally, the joke character. He's the funny guy. Taken to its delightful extreme, from a comedian to the hardest fight in the game he is from. I remember my first exposure to Undertale was seeing the Sans fight. That was the first thing I ever saw of Undertale, where I was like, someone should be like, hey, look at this weird indie game that came out. Look at this like super hard boss. And I'm like, that's a thing? That's like impossible. I beat him several times though. I'm pretty good at this fight now, but
I did not do that. I did not manage to defeat him. Prickly Pal's can attest to that.
But things I like about Sans, he's one funny boner. Sans has plenty of comedic moments in the game, but he can also be a character that judges your morality and pontificates insight, as well as his standout Grillby scene, making this character more than meets the eye. Like, he isn't just a character just like, I'm just gonna be my own thing. No. He plays a major part because it is canonical that he's one of the only people in the universe of Undertale who knows about saving in timelines. His whole spiel in his genocide route is, yeah, I know what you are. You're fucking everything up. I need you out of here. Get the fuck out.
Mother killer.
Yeah, but he knows what you're doing, not just brother killing, but also knows the limits of the game itself. It's kind of similar to
Right.
like Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club.
The meta
Not my favorite character
characters.
from DDLC, probably the least favorite with Sayori. But like, she knows as well what a player is, what the game world is, what the constructs of the thing she is in.
Right.
Same with Sans. He knows he's in a fucking video game. He knows that he's like in some weird save scummy timeline shit. And that brings a lot of depth to his character besides just, oh, I'm just a joke. And I would disagree with you on one point. I remember you said in Undyne's route where Sans just like, I guess I'll fight you. No, I personally feel, I interpret this, not to say your interpretation is not valid, but my interpretation is he does care. Because it's kind of fanon type stuff. I'm getting to some fanon type stuff where like,
Right.
there's a big theory that him, Papyrus, and Gaster were all connected and were like scientists at one point. But because
The
Gaster
whole
fell in...
scientist thing?
Go on.
No, go ahead.
No,
Please
no, you
finish,
go,
please
you
finish.
go.
And then no, please go ahead.
No,
please.
you go.
Okay, no, the scientist thing is canon. That's almost stated to be canon in a lot of the patch updates for Sans. Gaster is straight up canon. Don't know about Papyrus, but definitely true of Sans.
Yeah, but like, there's a big fan of like Gaster is Sans and Papyrus as a dad. Because there is a part in the game where I think you're in Snowden and he is some villager was like, oh, the Skeleton Brothers? Yeah, they just showed up one day. No one knows where they came from. And I personally feel Gaster was a skeleton at some point. Because Gaster, wingdings. Because Sans and Papyrus is, the Papyrus font. And Sans is the,
Sans font, Comic Sans.
Gaster his literal name is WD Gaster, Wingding Gaster. And that's how you know they're all connected, because they all speak in different fonts. Whereas every other character speaks in the Undertale font, or as I have it installed on my computer, the Determination font. I feel like he's either like a sibling, or my interpretation, a dad. But the point is, he knows about things. And I think he may have retained some, but not all, memories of when Gaster was still. Because Gaster, when he fell into the core, he was wiped from existence. No one remembers him. He's just gone.
Yep.
Sans, though, that's different. Because in his, like, back shed, like the back of the house of Undertale, like, I think it was some sort of, like, secret thing you could do for, like, it was like...
Yeah.
Some ending where he's like, okay, I know what you're doing, but you're doing good. Kind of like the opposite of genocide, where he's like, I know who you are. Take this. This will give you answers. Goes to the back of the house. There's a machine wrapped in curtain, and there's a picture. This picture is very important because it shows 3 characters smiling with the words, "Don't forget." And I personally feel that was a tease for Deltarune. Because when you remember when I actually remember this very personally. Remember when the survey program came out?
Yes, I do. Very, very vividly.
I was one of the first people to I was still in high school. And I remember sitting down and like waiting for it to come up. Like it was like 6 a.m. And I had to go to class at like 8:30 or whatever.
Right.
And I remember the survey program, I was like, holy shit! The first thing you see, Gaster bait all over the goddamn place. Like,
for sure.
That the narrator is Gaster. Like, I personally feel it was Gaster because, like, oh, it's me, it's the secret man, pick your character or whatever. I thought it was gonna be like some Gaster thing. It was Undertale 2, Deltarune. But one of the taglines that I remember was at the beginning of the game and at the end of the demo was "Don't forget." Those 3 people in that picture now to me is Susie, Rosse, and Chris.
You see the vision!
And Sans is in both. I personally interpret it as either one of 2 things. And this is getting into like big brain tinfoil shit, so stay with me.
Yeah, let's go.
Either Undertale and Deltarune are parallel universes, where Sans has that machine curtains to go into the other world, and he's in both. And he kind of slightly indicates it, like, in Deltarune, I interpret it as he kind of knows who you are. Like, he just kind of appears, and he's like, hey, it's me! Oh, you know who I am? No, you don't. You're new. It's me. He knows. He knows you're Frisk, or Kara, or the player. Another interpretation that is, like, if I'm right on this, holy fuck. Alright, are you ready for, like, the most mind-blowing thing?
Go on.
What if Deltarune is a prequel to Undertale? And let me explain. When Toby Fox had his literal fever dream, he was sick one night, and he had a dream of the ending of Deltarune. And throughout his entire life, he was like, I want this to be my dream game. It wasn't, it was Undertale, but he later made Deltarune as like, this is the dream game that I had. I interpret it as, there must be some sort of huge catastrophe. The Titans. They all talk about the Titans in like the backstory. Where like, you know, if the Dark Fountains go amok, the Titans will rise back and wipe out everything. My interpretation is that the Titans come back. They destroy everything. Wipe everyone's memories. Fuck up the universe so much that it shapes to become the Undertale universe. The ruins, the core, the underground may actually be Old Earth. Because in Deltarune, the monsters are just living up. They're just like, hey, it's us. We're here. It's Toriel. It's, you know, Alphys. They're living their lives.
Yeah.
But Undertale, they're all like, we're banished monsters. The humans didn't like us. We're gone.
Yeah.
What if they're remnants of a past universe being Deltarune?
Yeah.
And because Sans remembers everything, and also Gaster is in the game, but my interpretation, because the shed, the locked, bolted door, I think that's Gaster in there, right?
Oh, for sure. There's definitely a big connection with him there.
So that means Gaster's still alive, theoretically. But at some point, there's going to be a catastrophic universe-destroying event with the Titans. Maybe like the three heroes sent up the Titans, they can't defeat them. They die, or they revert, or something.
Uh-huh.
And the picture that Sans has in his room is of that past universe. Because he has some sort of special powers, or is connected to Gaster. My interpretation is like Gaster is Sans Papyrus' dad, and because he's Gaster's dad, Sans has like maybe scientific modifications, some sort of magic powers that gain him the ability to see other worlds or remember past events. Because he's the one who says, I know who you are, you're an anomaly in the timelines, gotta destroy you. He also has that picture. So, there's a lot more to Sans that could be explored. Thank you, Princess Mima Ducky, for the follow. Very appreciated. He has a lot more than meets the eye. And I think with later chapters of Deltarune, that's going to be proven so right, I feel. Because Sans, we don't even know about his backstory still. We know his personality. Yeah. We know what he does. We still don't know where he came from. We know who literally every other character came from. Toriel, Azriel, Alphys, Undyne, Monster Kid, Kara. We don't know about Sans of Papyrus. Specifically Sans. So I think Deltarune's going to be the game where it's like, alright, this is the backstory.
Skeleton lore.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree on that part, that Deltarune is shaping up to be some sort of prequel to Undertale because of the way it's building up and stuff, for all the reasons you explained. Maybe not necessarily that the Titans will come back and remake Earth, but I definitely agree that something will happen that will reset the universe and everyone's suddenly put into different roles, stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me personally, the thing that convinces me on this series is more about where Undertale and Deltarune take their inspiration from. And so in you know that Undertale takes a lot of influence from Shikasato Itoi's Mother series, particularly Earthbound. Yeah. So, logically, if we think of Undertale as the Earthbound in, well, the Undertale Deltarune duology, whatever, then Deltarune to me is more like Mother 3. So for context, Earthbound, well, is kind of like where we're at right now. 1990X in Eagle Land, kind of a normal place, but also supernatural happenings are happening because of Geekias and that sort of thing. Mother 3 takes place in a different universe, except, well, actually, no, it's not a different universe. It takes place thousands of years into the future in a different in a different universe.
Yeah, because the only when it is like unpenetrable like safe space, and he teleported to
absolutely safe capsule. That one, yeah. Yeah, so he teleported into that new universe, and then his interventions caused the plot mechanics of Mother 3 to happen. So I definitely think that with the way Deltarune is being set up compared to Undertale, it's going to be more like the Mother 3 Undertale. It's going to be Undertale's equivalent of Mother 3. And I think what also convinces me on that front is the very different approach it takes to storytelling versus Undertale. Undertale is more like you just wander through some things and you might have some scripted conversations sometimes, but it's mainly you as Frisk wandering through the underground. In Deltarune, there's more like directly scripted cutscenes between different characters and stuff, which is something that Mother 3 does a lot as well. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things play out with the next chapters of Deltarune. The other thing with, Gasters and Deltarune too is kind of on a more musical level. You know about the whole Gasters theme appears in the research survey program, that sort of thing. But his leitmotif also appears with all the secret bosses in Deltarune too, because the connecting thread between all the secret bosses we've seen so far is that they've gained awareness. They've gained a meta awareness that they are in a game, and their way of breaking free is to escape that meta in some shape or form. And I'm suspecting we'll see the same thing for any future extra bosses we'll see in future chapters. And so I suspect that Gaster, whatever Gaster is trying to do, is related to making the characters in their world aware of this meta, this fact that there are characters in a game, and help them try to break free of it. We don't know exactly why he's doing that, and we know that him making them aware usually has very negative consequences for them, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that kind of your theory kind of supports my theory of like, Gaster is connected to Sans somehow, biologically or not, and he gives him his awareness. Sans knows things, kind of like Jevil and Spamton.
For sure.
I think we'll see, like you said, other characters that have that heightened awareness, possibly even Sans at some point. Because we haven't seen Papyrus yet. Where's Papyrus? I think Toby Fox is intentionally leaving him out for a story reason.
I suspect he is, genuinely.
I just want Deltarune Chapter 3 now! Give me!
I do too, but I also want Toby to take as much time as possible with his game so he can make it, like, the best as possible. Last I heard with the newsletters, Chapter 3 is basically done, but I think he wants to release Chapters 3, 4, and 5 in bulk before anything
I remember hearing in the newsletter they actually want to release 3 and 4, like, soon, though. So, who knows?
Okay. The internet's gonna go insane once that happens, and that will also include me. I remember when Chapter 2 just dropped, and I was, like, spending 4 hours at my computer just playing through it nonstop and desperately trying to avoid spoilers.
I'm gonna stream it immediately when it comes out. Like,
same.
Or like a day after, Like, I would cancel my other stream and let's like collab and be like, alright, sit the fuck down, play Deltarune!
Deltarune!
But good choices, Undertale's such a good fucking thing. Undertale Deltarune is the Foxiverse, the Toby Foxiverse. Such a good fucking series. Like, there's so much like layers you can like peel,
Oh, for sure. Toby's he's really, really good at what he does. Fantastic musician, even before we, even talk about Undertale and Deltarune. Like, his stuff for Homestuck was incredible. I was there during his Homestuck days. And
I forgot to say the other bullet points and not finished
Oh,
yet.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking of Homestuck, speaking of Homestuck, Megalovania was in Homestuck, and it was also in Earthbound Halloween Hack. But I personally feel like the arrangement in Undertale of Megalovania is the best the song has ever been orchestrated. Regardless if you think that Megalovania is Sans theme or Kara's theme, I think it's a great song nonetheless. And that association with Sans is kind of, you know, why I like the character so much. Because his theme song, whether or not it's his or Kara's, is like amazing, you know? Like there's a reason why he's in Smash, you know? It's because his theme song is that good. And then I need to talk about my personal history with him, alright?
Yes.
So, I won't say what my PL is, but in my PL, I was one of the big Undertale voice actors, or actresses, or whatever. I voice Sans the most. That's why in my self-intro, I do a Sans impression. Is because I have 8+ years of voice acting experience, like all the way back from like since Undertale first started. And most of my experience is Undertale. Do the voice.
Hey kid, you can have a bad time. Something, bone pun.
Yeah, it's
Sans
like
Undertale!
It's Sans Undertale. Yeah, it's like, it's not like it's just an impression. No, I have nuances to his character.
Oh, I'm hurt, but I'm gonna fuck you up or something. But you know, it could also be, hey, I got a little funny bone or something, blah, 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 blah.
You know, and I got to do a, Sans, I need you to go out to the store and buy me frozen spaghetti.
Little problem with that, bro.
What? What is it?
I kind of spent money on a VTuber. I kind of donated all of our grocery money on them.
You what? How dare you spend our grocery money on an internet idol person? You're going to the bone zone. But like, I have so many like, you know, Undertale voices and stuff like that. And like, because I voiced Sans in so many different like comic dubs, other things, it gives me insight into his character. Because a lot of those comic dubs are like sequels to Undertale or AUs of Undertale or whatever. And I start to really get why people like him a lot. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just, I like him. I'm literally, okay. I'm wearing right now a blue jacket. This jacket is old. It's like 2016. But it, you know, still works, still functions and everything. I bought that blue jacket because I cringily wanted to be Sans.
You wanted to be Sans
No. I have a Sans Undertale jacket, like the official one as well. But this is just a regular blue jacket. I actually have a Sans Undertale jacket, like the fan gamer one, like the
Yeah, I know. It's really nice, apparently.
I have it, but it was a hand-me-down, so it doesn't really feel as nice, but I'm still like, I'm Sans now, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, I like that character a lot. He's great. He's a funny little boner. Alright, moving on to your character.
Alright, on to the next one. Saber, Arturia Pendragon, because I have to clarify now in this series, from Fate's Stay Night. The strongest servant in the 5th Holy Grail War, that is, if her master wasn't as weak as he was. A cold, quiet girl who wields a magical sword. Her goal is to get the Grail to make her own wish come true. Things I like about her. Her design. The armored dress look cannot be beat. It is iconic. Also, her gamine looks. So for those who don't know what that word means, it means she's boyish, androgynous. An inspired take on a legendary British figure. Someone who grew up in the UK, seeing King Arthur thoughtfully reimagined this way is incredibly cool. Her ending in Fate Route made me cry a lot. This is true. She's really cute. How can someone this small pack such a punch? Act so competitive. Get angry so easily. She's like a little pissy cat. There's so much merch of her. I'm really glad Takashi Takeuchi loves her as much as he does because it means that there's so many cute Saber outfits to enjoy. I cannot emphasize this enough. There was one Saber altar figure craft essence that came out. I think it was around FGO's 3rd anniversary where she was like wearing these little tartan shorts and little boots and whatever and a tie, and she was carrying this whole snack bag filled with stuff she got from Knight of the Round Table equivalent of Starbucks with like all these. But what impressed me about that was the fact that Takeuchi had referenced actual British snacks that she would enjoy, stuff like Walker's crisps or Scottish shortbread, stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, I've actually seen these when walking into a Tesco or Sainsbury's. This is shit she would absolutely eat. That kind of crap. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very attached to her. I love Miss Saber.
Yeah, Saber is a really cool character. I personally like Rin a lot. Rin's really cool. Yeah, Rin is like she's so good. She reminds me of another what's the verse? The Fate verse, something verse?
Extra.
No. It was like the author's name verse. What?
Nasu verse?
Nasu verse. It reminds me of Rin reminds me of a Nasuverse character. Have you played Tsukihime or Multi Blood?
I have played through Type Lumina a bit. Does she remind you of Akiha?
Yeah, the little Chinese girl with like the red shirt.
Oh no, that's Miyako. That's Miyako.
Yeah, reminds me of her a lot. I don't know why. Like this Nasu guy makes a bunch of cute girls with black hair and red dress, and I'm like, I hug you. But Rin is great. But yeah, I like Saber too. Saber is really good. I believe Saber is the origin for Padoru. Is that true?
Wrong. So allow me to explain the origins of Padoru. There is another Saber who is also very near and dear to my heart. I made a statement back when I was talking about Undyne about how I had multiple favorite characters for a series. And with Fate, I have multiple favorite characters as well. Arturia Pendragon is the one I want to focus on, but Nero Claudius, the poster girl for the Fate Extraverse, is the Padoru girl. She is the Padoru girl. That is her.
Oh. Are there multiple, like, I remember when watching Fate Zero, like I watched a little bit of Fate Zero, there was like, a Saber? Is that the same character?
No. In the Fate series, Saber is just the class name. It's just like, this is the kind of weapons or the kind of stats they would have. So this is what you should be expecting. With a Saber, they're usually a sword-wielding figure who is really, really strong. That is just their class name. They're using it to hide their true name, because if they revealed their true name to anyone who isn't their master, it will cause people to figure out, okay, so this is their noble phantasm, so like something that reflects their peak in life, a tactic, an attack, something like that. And also we'll find out what their weakness is. So if they reveal their identity. So that's why they have names like Saber, Lancer, Caster, Archer, Rider. It's kind of ways of disguising themselves. That's why I put Arturia Pendragon next to Saber, because that is her actual name.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Good character. Talk about Ren a little bit, if I may. Like,
go ahead. I love Ren.
I haven't really like watched much of Fate, Red Fate, whatever. Like, I have Real to Nua. I want to play it sometime. I played a little bit of it. Visual novels don't really catch my attention unless they're like, you know, some with more gameplay to it, like a Danganronpa or whatever.
Right.
But with Fate, Rin just stands out as like super cute, super sassy. She's like the definition of a tsundere. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And I just like her a lot. But like, Saber is really good too. Like, I kind of get why like Rin and Saber are like the girls of like Fate Stay Night specifically.
Yeah. I will say, do not sleep on Sakura. Sakura, I love all three of the main heroines of Fate Stay Night for a reason. Saber is just my favorite because of my personal biases, but all three are really, really good. And I think Sakura, although not as much recently, but Sakura gets a little more slept on than the other two. And it's sad because Sakura is an incredibly compelling character in her own right.
I also know that
very
like,
screwed.
I also like her route is very like horror driven.
Yes, it is.
Want to elaborate on it a little bit?
It is. Her route is definitely a lot darker than Fate Route and Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah, Heaven's Feel is very... I love it, though. It's very, very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. I just wish I had, like, a good way to play Fate Stay Night that isn't, like, my PC. I guess I could load it on my Steam Deck, but, like... I wish they could... Oh, go on.
there is a browser version of Fate Stay Night.
Yeah?
Yeah, there is. You have no
Is it like-
excuse now.
Is it like the Realta Nua version or whatever?
You can change all the settings as you want. It will, by default, load to the Realta Nua version, yes, but you can also do the original version too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not playing it if it doesn't let me see the weird sex scenes.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of laugh it out a little bit for those who are like, sex in Fate? What?
Always has been. Always has been.
Yeah, you want to kind of, like, how are sex scenes in this game? What?
Okay, well, as someone who has read through them, I can say this. A lot of people like to overstate how bad Nasu's erotic writing is. My stance is that it's no worse than reading, like, your average hentai doujin, I think. And I think a lot of the exaggerations were done because the thing with the current translation of Fate Stay Night is that it's kind of patchworky. Like, it works, you'll understand most of what the characters are saying, get a good sense of their personalities, get some of the jokes too. But it's not like a professional polished translation. It is a fan translation, and sometimes it shows. And that is one of the moments it shows. It takes what is generally pretty normal erotic descriptors, surfaceable erotic descriptors in Japanese, and turns them into things that kind of sound very weird, such as using mollusk metaphors for sex. Not as yeah, you'll understand when you get there.
Bro.
Yeah, they're very interesting, is what I'll say. The way they translated them was very interesting. So, if you want to experience them for yourself, the browser version will allow you to do that.
Right.
Also,
Yeah,
bisexual, Ren.
Yeah. Bisexual, Ren, what? Me?
What I'm saying is, Rin comes out as bisexual in one of those scenes, so...
Nice!
No, I'm not joking. She has a big fucking crush on Saber. I kid you not.
I just
It's
wish
text.
there was a Unlimited Braid Works and Fate round combined, if you know what I mean.
Well, all I can say is, once you finish through Fate route and you get to Unlimited Blade Works, try and get the good ending instead of the true one. You'll get a nice surprise.
Ah, yeah, baby! Okay, there's a browser version, though?
It's not... I'll say that. It's not explicit, but it's definitely gonna raise your eyebrows, is what I will say.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah.
But there's a browser version? What?
Yeah, there is. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Can I play on, like, mobile, Switch, Steam Deck, that sort of thing?
I don't know if you could put it on Twitch or anything, but you can easily play on, like, I don't know, your iPad or whatever.
No, I mean, like, I mean Twitch meant Switch.
Oh, Switch. No, in that case. No, it's, like, squarely a browser-based thing.
Does it work on mobile?
Yes, it does. I played it on my iPad, so, yeah, it works.
Okay. Yeah, and it's, like, the best version with, like, all the nice graphics and the cutscenes and whatever.
Well, I think the best way to do it would just be to download and play Realta Nu yourself. That's actually how I played it. But if you are strapped for time and you just want to get to the text and understand what the heck is going on, then it's not a bad option. Still though, for the full experience and for everything, do just play it on your computer, but
yeah, like the reason why I haven't like fully read Fate yet is because when I'm on my PC and I just clicking through certain stuff and reading and blah 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 like on my desk, it just feels kind of weird and uncomfortable because like I won't actually be like playing something on my desk. If I was reading something, I'd be in my bed.
Right. Yeah, I get that feeling a lot too, and it was a big part of why I haven't really catched up with a lot of my visual novel backlog in terms of a lot of JVNs and stuff, because a lot of them are PC only, and until fairly recently, the only Windows computer I had was my PC, and which is great for a lot of things, like streaming, like working on video editing, that sort of thing. It's very powerful, it's very good. Not so great if I just want to sit down and read through a visual novel.
Yeah, I just wish there was some sort of like Steam release or Switch release so I can play it on a portable setting.
Well, I'm hoping for that to be soon on the horizon. because Type Moon was pretty good about doing the Tsukihime remake, and Mahoyo they both got Switch releases. And Steam releases now. So I think it's only a matter of time. Actually, in maybe tomorrow-ish, this weekend, Type Moon are going to be having their meeting tomorrow about the 20th anniversary of Fate's Day Night, so they might have something prepped for that. I don't know what they have prepped exactly, but they definitely have something prepared, because it's a big game.
Hope an English Steam release or Switch release, please. I will buy that. I will play it on my Steam Deck, please. Come on.
I will absolutely support Type Moon if they do that. I will absolutely do that.
It has to be moddable, though, so I can add the weird sex scenes.
I'm sure that even if it isn't, someone in the community will do that.
Yeah.
Some of the people in the Type Moon community will do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to move on to the next character. So, this next character is a bit weird because it's actually made by you! It's a character written by you! It's Caution!
It's him! Caution,
It's
not
him!
violent!
It's the boy!
It's him! It's my
And
boy!
I will stress, Mado did not make me put her own character in this. I did it purely out of my own will because I love this character so much and I want to talk about him. So, this character is Caution from Malviolence, the disciple of danger, emperor of Malviolence himself. The great Caution is complex, damaged, but fascinating and hilarious character with hidden facets to himself. Like what the great ogre said, femboys have layers, or something. Things I like about him, his design, unironically peak character design, it balances the fine line between detail-packed, not being too busy, but also being coherent as well. With many symbols and markings all around his hair, like the little, stop, go sign on his, clip. The glasses especially, that's the icon of the fucking game. It makes Caution a really interesting character by design alone. I also just want to hug him and, call him cute and stuff. He deserves love. He deserves attention.
He's so cute!
His backstory is tragic yet understandable. I've yet to play Proto-Violence. I'm waiting for a definitive edition to come out so I can play it on stream, so get on that. But
the trailer right now!
Oh, it's almost done? Can you give us an update?
I'm very, very close to having it finished. The game, in terms of Proto-Violence progress, the game is very nearly done. There's just a couple of visual things I need to fix up before I can say I can make the Steam page go live and start promoting it and stuff. But I want to work on the trailer. There's a couple of things within the game itself, but all the new story additions, the polishes to the story, etc., have been added. So the core product, I'd say, is 90% of the way there. I just got to make this final push.
I will stream it as soon as it comes out because I really want to know about
please enjoy
Pavel.
Definitive Edition.
Yes. But to my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Pavel, Caution's past life, became the alter ego of Caution due to his rough upbringing in a cybernetics program. Teamed with one of his peers to become a doomed supervillain duo of Dr. Danger and this disciple of Danger, Caution, to get back at the organization that wronged him, Stop. Is that accurate?
Do not want to spoil you. I will say that Caution, the relationship between Caution and Pavel is less. Caution is less of a alter ego and more of himself reborn, I guess, is the way I'd say this. It's after a certain point, Pavel died and Caution was born. From the ashes
kind of like the Joker
That's
in the movie Joker.
He really is the Joker, but a femboy.
He's the femboy Joker, as I like to say, the femboy Monokuma.
I guess. Although,
actually, I really feel like you were inspired by Monokuma with Caution,
there was
right?
definitely a Monokuma. When I was first writing him for Malviolence, there was definitely a Monokuma influence in them. But the more I write him, the more the more I go into him, I feel like he's veering away from the Monokuma feelings, and I don't know. There's more I want to get into it, but I don't want to talk about what my future plans are for him.
Yeah. I get that. And also his personality is really enjoyable, from his Monokuma-esque bravado of like,
For sure.
oh, you're in my trap now, do my puzzles, goddammit, or I kill you.
Yeah.
To his incessant use of internet meme references, he literally says, snooping as usual, I see. Like,
There
that's
it
really good.
is! I was like grinning to myself when I snuck that in. Everyone was so mad when I put that in, but I'm like, I have to pay tribute to the memes that raised me.
Yeah, but like, the point is that like, Caution is very like, he's so full of wonderful surprises, and like, there's so many facets to his character. I just keep coming back to witness them, you know? It's like femboys are like onions, they have layers or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All I can say is when you do get to proto-violence, when you do, I think it will make you have it will make you appreciate those layers even more. Pavel gets a lot of focus in proto-violence, as does Redacted. But
Dave said, Caution is great because being a femboy doesn't mean you have to fit into the archetype of soft. No, yeah, I get that. Like, he's a very, like, he looks soft, he looks huggable, he is huggable. But, like, he's not, like, Astolfo or Felix or whatever, who's like, oh, I'm just an ooh-woo hug. No, he's kind of deranged.
yeah. No, that was intentional. That was something I wanted to make clear about him from Get One. It actually got me a negative Steam review. Someone was like, he doesn't act like a femboy, therefore this is bad. And I'm like, you fool! You idiot! Can you not see my grand designs for him? He's meant to counteract those depictions because, I don't know, when I read a lot about otokonoko/femboy characters in media and stuff, they generally are portrayed as like substitute girls, which is like, you know, fine, I guess. But the fact is that that's generally the only kind of representation I see for a lot of these kinds of unique kinds of characters. And so I was like, with Caution, I kind of want to take a different angle of that. He's a boy. He does dress femininely. This is how he's comfortable presenting himself, but he does not act in a, I guess, submissive or timid way. He's brash. He's rude. He's a little punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot, because, like, I get tired. Like, I like femboys a lot, you know. I'm bi,
Yeah.
I can say that I like femboys. But, like,
Understandable.
I like femboys, but to a point, it's like, where does the literally made for hentai bait stop being interesting? With
Yeah.
Caution, well, first off, he's a minor, don't really make porn of that, but also, he isn't just ooh-woo soft. He has more spice to him. Like, remember when I said in my Backseat character that, like, Backseat adds spice to, like, a market of just bland characters. Caution is like that as well, or Caution, or whatever.
Caution.
Where, I swear to God, when we were, like, talking before I met you today, you were talking about Caution as, like, pronounced Caution? How is it pronounced? Is it Caution or Caution?
Well, he says it himself. It's Caution. Caution.
Yeah. But I remember you saying Caution at some point.
You know what? It's interchangeable. I don't care at this point. I think
I say Caution because it's like the caution sign, you know?
Yeah.
Like, right?
I feel like in his case, he'd be like, I introduce myself as Caution, but other people will call me Caution, and he doesn't really care either way. It's like, I don't know, calling someone, I don't know, what's a good one there? An or on, or something like that. I don't know. That's
Kara,
probably not...
Chara, Kara, Chera.
Yeah, Kara. Yeah, exactly like that. I think Caution doesn't really care as long as you know that's his name. He's pretty flexible in pronunciation.
Yeah. Despite his derangedness, he's a chill dude, I swear.
Yes.
But yeah, I also remember when I was playing, I personally have not played Mob Violence, saw someone else play, we were like kind of backseating each other. But I remember, I guess we're getting into Mob Violence spoilers. Can I talk about Mob Violence spoilers?
Fine, it's been, what, nearly a year since it came out.
Play Mob Violence and Proto-Violence!
Please!
I will shelve Proto-Violence to finish once it comes out for like a week, I swear. But like, when we first played it, we got the bad ending where we took too long like some puzzles or like didn't find enough notes or something. Caution pulls up a gun and kills you. And we were like, holy shit, he can do that? And there was some other endings that someone posted on YouTube the ending that I like the most, and I'll kind of say this because I don't want to get into like, I talked about this in the model privately that I won't talk about in further detail, but like basically, there's the true ending or whatever, where like, you understand who Caution is. You understand somewhat of what a Pavel is. I don't think Pavel was really thought of after Malviolence came out or before or whatever, but like, you understand him, you know what he's going through, and stuff is kind of shitty. And Caution's like, yeah, so you know what to do, you know, go ahead, kill me, do it. And you don't. And I remember vividly the scene of Caution breaking down and being like, I guess you really didn't have it in you, or something like that. And then it goes, you know, this could be the start to a beautiful supervillain relationship. Here, tell you what, I'm gonna give you all the secrets to Stoat's, like, nefarious deeds. Go leak them. If you do, you know, maybe become a supervillain yourself. And I was like, what if there was a game that had that? I won't get into that, but like, what if like you team up with Caution and like that? And it made me like really want to see more about like the universe, about Caution himself, what he's going to do to get back at Stoat. And I just, and regardless of what your plans are for like Malviolence 3 or whatever, like I want to see like what the aftermath is, the violence first. Like I want to see that shit, you know, just like, I want Proto-Violence Definitivist to come out already and eat it in my mouth.
Yeah. Say that Proto-Violence does talk about some of that stuff. It will expand upon Stop and the YTDI further. And it brings more depth to a certain character who's also introduced in Malviolence, Dr. Danger.
Yeah.
That
Dr. Danger's like fucking dead or something.
Yeah, she's dead in Malviolence. That's clear from the get-go. But in Proto-Violence, it's pretty explicit that you're going to see things from her eyes before all the stuff in Malviolence happens. Yeah. So it's basically about all the instigating events that happened in her diary entries up until the point where, well, Redacted happens.
Shit goes down. Yeah.
Yeah, shit goes down. And
great.
Yeah, hopefully in the future stuff I will be able to talk about the other things you mentioned too. Again, I'm not going to speak much on it yet.
I won't speak it either because, like, you know, I have ideas, you have ideas, etc.
Yeah. All right.
Numi said, I consider making a Malviolence fanfic with a low into high luck lab rat moving in with Caution.
Yes, please! I would read your AO3 fanfic, please! I need fanfic!
Yeah. Let's move on to the next character.
All right.
I have no idea who this is. This is all you.
All right. Toontown Corporate Clash. If you haven't played it, please do. It is a wonderful little
I will stream it at some point.
Yes, it is probably the best Toontown fan server out there, but one of the reasons why it is the best Toontown fan server, fan server! The reason why it is the best Toontown fan server is because it has this guy, Cathal Ray Toby Bravecog, aka the multi-slacker from Toontown Corporate Clash. One of the Cellbot managers, the son of Alan Bravecog, aka the VP from Toontown Online, Cathal watches over Cellbot HQ as a CCTV operator. At least, he's supposed to. He prefers to watch TV, eat snacks, and sleep. Hence his codename. Things I like about them. Yes, he is a he-they. His concept, which got me into TTCC. Giving Toontown's VP a lazy Nepo baby was a genius idea. I cannot stress this enough. I love little Nepo baby characters like them. Their design. I'm very partial to TV head robots, and Cahul's an adorable take on the concept.
Wasn't there a one-shot character that had a TV head?
That's a good question, actually. I think so. I need to replay One Shot.
But, like, I've seen a bunch of, like, person with TV. I said, yeah, it's a pretty interesting design.
Yeah. His IDGAF attitude. In a society as work-driven as Suit/Cog society, seeing a Suit hate work as much as he does is really funny, especially when he's put up against workaholics such as Graham Pacer, aka the Pace Setter. Yes, that character is named after the fitness Graham Pace test.
Oh my god!
Yes! It's as funny as it sounds. He is equally funny. And they eat a sandwich in their battle. Look at this guy. It's like a little lazy fat cat. I need to adopt them. They're so good.
Adopt him and Caution. They are now your children.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that Kaho's like an adult, but I don't know. It's like when I look at Kaho eating a sandwich and looking the way he does, I'm like, they love chilling. This guy, they love chilling so much. I wish to be as chill as him. I wish to have that same level of chillness.
Yeah. Yeah, good character.
That's all there really is to say. He's really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully sometime I will play Toontown Corporate Clash in a server, and I will join your club!
Yes!
Alright, and then the final character we're gonna talk about today, we're reaching the end of this collab soon. So when I was working on this, I was like thinking, what character should I add to here? Because I knew I was gonna add Babs, Jose, and Caution. I didn't really know like what other characters I could. I was like, okay, Mato's Undyne, I'll put Sans on there, why not? But I thought about it for a second. And I remember being like, Final Fantasy 14, what sort of characters can I do? I like Lalafell a lot. What about Kryl or Tantru? No, just kind of one note. Like, they'll get their moment in Doncho, especially Kryl. Wait a second! I know the guy! It's Emmett Selk from Final Fantasy 14! Oh my god, this guy! Let me tell you about Emmett Selk. So as an immortal Ascian, which is like kind of the secondary main antagonist, I'm what the main antagonist of the whole game is. But as the immortal Ascian, Emmett has lived many lives but many eras of Eorzea, keeping it vague. Please play Final Fantasy XIV. And is to be a fan favorite for his boisterous and manipulative personality. He's fun. He's a cool dude. Let me just get into his talking shit. His personality is eccentric yet villainous. As the main antagonist of the Shadowbringers expansion, Emmett is a constant force and obstacle in the player's journey through the first, often bemusing the player with his silly antics, but knows when to get serious, especially when the climax reveals his backstory and his true motives. His boss fight is incredible! Without getting into spoilers, the fight with him, especially his pre-duty monologue, like, he tells you about his backstory about a burning city. Like, I'll keep it vague as possible. Like, that shit? Holy fuck! Oh, I think it's a dungeon, actually, in FF14. But, like, that shit is incredible. But, like, it paints him in the Ascians, which, before Shadowbringers, like, oh, Ascians? Bah! They're, like, weird, hooded bad guys. Emmett Selk is the first sort of humanized, if you could say, Ascian, that you really understand his motivations, his backstory, and what he wants. Because Ascian is just like, oh, they just want to destroy planets or cause a muck. No. Emmett's motivation is a lot more than just destroying things. He wants his home back. And so, Mato, you left. Where did you go?
Been yeeted out!
I need to invite you back.
Invite me back! Save me!
Yes, I'm connected to Steam. Yes, alright. Oh, shit.
What happened?
I don't know. It says...
This connection to Steam
Connection to
servers
Steam
failed.
servers failed. Make sure you're running VTuber through Steam. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Can I get your Fugi? Do you have a Fugi?
A Fugi? Yes, I do. Just connect my Discord to it and we'll be all set.
Okay. This will be a backup. Reactive.fugi.
Yeah. I have been forcibly booted out of the systems. They could not take my power.
There you are. Okay.
There I am.
And then I gotta add this as a browser. We'll call you Mato.
Yep.
And then, boom.
Dunk, dunk, dunk.
This would be a good backup for now. Pretend she's moving.
Yeah. Pretend I am moving. Just roll with it.
Yeah, but Mato is dead. I never thought it would end this way. But, like, you understand not only him, but what the Ascians are, what they want. And if you question if Ascians are really the bad guy, sure, they did a lot of, like, horrific shit. But their motivation is like, it's kind of like that, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
They just want their home back, keeping it as vague as possible. And they'll do whatever it takes to get that home. And you learn all of that through Emmett. And that's, like, incredible. And I won't say how he appears in Endwalker, but his appearance in Endwalker, fantastic. Love it. Amazing. He's just a cool guy. And I remember when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, the character Astarion, I think his name is,
that is
really gave me a lot of Emmett Selk vibes. Like,
for sure.
I legitimately thought they were the same VA, like the same like kind of character. No, different VA. But like has a lot of like, if you have played Baldur's Gate 3, Sotatoes, Prickly Pals in the audience, if you've played Baldur's Gate 3 and you're like, I need more of Astarion, but like a villain, FF14, it's got you back. It's so, and then the little dude right here, the little like Emmett, that's a wind-up Emmett Selk. In FF14, you can have little minions because it's an MMO, but like a lot of the minions are like little wind-up toys based on characters. And there's one of Emmett Selk. I think it's locked behind an art book, which you do have stuff for art books in FF14, like physically, with the code and everything. And I do want to get Emmett Selk at some point. It's just I haven't yet. And also keep in mind, Emmett Selk, well, I love him. I adore him. He is amazing. He's not my favorite FF14 character. That's Tataru or Cryo, but like, there isn't really much to talk about. All I would really say is, they're cute! I would pick them up and hug them! That's it. With Emmett, he's a lot more nuanced. He's a lot more, I think he is the most well-written character in FF14. Because you may think, oh, he's just the big bad dude or whatever. No. You learn about him. You know his backstory. It's so tragic, and it's like, I'm not gonna say I will fix him, but you deserve better.
Yeah.
I hope he returns in some form. He's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you said you've played a tiny bit of 14, but really didn't get into it because of Toontown, right?
Teeny tiny bit. I didn't even like reach past the tutorial or anything. I just opened up the benchmark and started creating characters or whatever. I was gonna play as a Lala or whatever, but then Toontown got in the way, and I'm like, yeah, Toontown, woo!
If you ever get tired of Toontown at any point, you're like, I want to try FF14. Let me know. I've been trying to get VTuber. I'll kind of just say this because I don't know if it'll work out, but like, I've been trying to get VTubers into playing FF14. And like maybe I was thinking like what if it was a joke we were all Lalafellas or something, and we'd have like our own little FC. We do like some content together, but more focused on like stream at your own pace, stream at your own time. But if we're doing like big content, let's do like big raids or whatever, not like extreme raids or savage raids, but like just regular prog raids. That'd be really cool. That'd be really fun. So let me know if you ever get into FF14. I will talk your ear off about how much I love Lalafellas and Emmett Selk. But before we wrap things up, we do have a few honorable mentions. So if you want to quickly list some, say why you like each one quickly.
All right. Satsuki Kiryuin from Kill la Kill made me realize I was a lesbian. She's very hot. I love her design. I liked her character arc too. Best character in Kill la Kill for sure. Fawful from the Mario and Luigi series. Basically the reason why Caution exists at all. Surprisingly fun villain in a series that's pretty simple. I miss him. I wish Nintendo would have done more with him, but I doubt that with the fall of Alpha Dream. Private Tamama from Sergeant Frog, probably my first major fandom fave ever. I think he's cute. His jealousy shtick is really cute too. I love his obsession with sweets. He's very childhood Motto fave, like we're talking about 8-9-year-old Motto fave. Warp from Kaiba, really good design, very compelling backstory. He's influenced a lot of other characters I might be writing soon. I really like Warp. Madoka Kaname from Madoka Magica, very sweet, simple character, but I love the way her arc resolves in the final episode of Madoka Magica. The episode 12 is literally one of my favorite episodes of anime television ever. Akane Shinjo from SSSS Gridman, really compelling anti-hero, or rather villain character who ends up being a lot more nuanced and complicated than she initially appears. I really love Akane a lot. Ontan from Dead Dead Demons, Dead Dead Destruction. Kind of like Sans, she starts out as kind of the joke character, like very silly, very funny, and then you realize she's putting it on as an act. But the details of her as a character are really, really interesting. Also, she has a great design. Twin tails are peak, and the thick eyebrows. Jay from Matt K, peak BL right there. He's just a great design in general. At once very elegant and goofy and very dangerous and scary. I love Jay. He's great. Chise from Saikano, another big inspiration for another character in a project I'm doing. Very, very tragic character. I love her a lot. Just the concept of a completely normal, average schoolgirl being burdened with, I don't know, the responsibility that she was given, and she's not coping 100% well with it, with being turned into a weapon and losing her humanity every day. And Dr. Amy G. Dalla from Absolutely Perfect Specimen. Fantastic little visual novel. Amy is very sexy. She is my wife. I don't think this would end well for me if I became her wife, because she has a lot of issues, to put it lightly. But I love her. She is my wife anyways. Yeah.
I remember you tweeting about how you absolutely love Absolutely Perfect Specimen. What is that?
It's a visual novel. It's a short visual novel made for VN Cup by one of my friends, Lilith Chambers, and her girlfriend, Ruined Powers. So they collaborated together to make this short visual novel for this game jam, and that was Absolutely Perfect Specimen. It's basically about a robot maid called Pan and her scientist master / girlfriend, Amy. And they live together in a house, and Pan's just kind of living her normal life until certain events start happening, and she starts learning the reason behind how she came into existence in the first place, and tries to confront with her dark past and her uncertain future. That's all I'm going to say about it. I have to speak about it vaguely because the core themes of the work are really explained when you play it, and it's about an hour's playthrough. It's a very short little game. You can easily get through it.
Apparently, they also worked on Proto-Violence?
Yes, she did. Lily did work on Proto-Violence. She was one of the writers for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're like, you're writing so good, be a part of my project! You know?
Yes, precisely.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then
What about you?
And then for me, oh boy, there's one character that I actually did not put that I will mention very briefly, is Dorothy Hayes from Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. She's great, she's cute, I love her, she's a waifu, she's amazing, super, like, complex character. You think it's just a sex worker, android, but no! She has, like, feelings and, like, nuance and stuff, that's kind of neat. I like a lot of Sonic characters, but what came to my name the most was Cream the Rabbit from Sonic the Hedgehog. Super cute, adopt her as my daughter, that sort of stuff. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. A lot of Kingdom Hearts characters are my fucking favorite. Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series of all time, and I feel like some people are watching like, Kingdom Hearts? Why is no Kingdom Hearts rap? It's just because, like, there isn't, like, as much as I adore Kingdom Hearts, character writing isn't one of its major strong suits. It's more gameplay and plot writing, and not like the arc of Sora, the arc of Riku. No, it's just very simple writing, but really effective writing. Usopp from One Piece. I love him. He's my favorite shothead. He's great. Starts off as like a joke character, like literally, like he's pathetic at first, but then you really start to get him, especially during it. I've heard his post-time skip is like incredible glow up or something, but like I like his pre-time skip as well. I think it's really cool. Haru Kuma from Persona 5. I have like a lot of Persona waifus, specifically Haru Kumura and Yukiko Amagi. But like, I don't know, it felt a little weird putting them in like the slides, because just like they're more waifu characters, not like super nuanced or whatever. Hubie from Pebble and the Penguin. My all-time favorite movie is a little Don Bluth movie called Pebble and the Penguin. I just like the main character, Hubie. He's so adorable, and I just want to give him a big smooch and hug him and stuff. He's great. Callie from Splatoon, my favorite Squid Sister, and my favorite like idol girl in Splatoon in general. Like, Pearl's fine. Marina's kind of there, and I forget.
Shiver and Fry and Big Man.
Yeah. Whatever's the one that is not the one with the big forehead, the sexy Asian lady. She's
Oh,
great.
you mean Shiver?
Yes, I love Shiver a lot. She's great. And then, you know, like I mentioned before, some Lalafell characters. I adore Lalafells, Taru, and Kryl from Final Fantasy XIV. We will hopefully see more of Kryl as a Pictomancer during Dawn Trail, which I will be streaming at some point. I just want to make a new character as Veni and then kind of like, you know, play as them and everything. Char Aznable and Mjolnir Rembrandt from Gundam. Char Aznable's great. Yeah, sure, you can say he's just a space Nazi. Why do you like him? Well, he's nuanced and he's cool. He's just a cool dude. Like,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
he wants
he's
to...
the big fan. He's the big fan favorite of Gundam Fujos everywhere.
Yeah, like, sure, he wants to genocide every Earthnoid, but, like, I like him, he's cool. And then Mjolnir Rembrandt, I was always a Mjolnir stan
Meow
during...
meow.
I was always a Mjolnir stan during Witch from Mercury. I love Mjolnir a lot. Selena's fine, but, like, I think Mjolnir is a lot of, like... Actually, I think it's similar to Edelgard. And let me explain why. White-haired anime waifu.
Tights.
Wants to not really be in her position of power, but does it anyway begrudgingly because she's the only one who's qualified. Can be seen as a villain on some points, especially, I won't say spoilers on Witch from Mercury, but she does some stuff that not a lot of people really like, especially towards Soletta at some points, that you're like, oh, she's not a good person. But no, she is just doing what she can to help the people she loves and everything. So they're very similar characters.
Right.
Big waifu bait, but Megumin from Konosuba. I love her a lot. She's great. She's cool.
She's fun.
Yeah. And then GLaDOS from Portal. This was like one of the first...
Woo!
Yeah, she's great. She was one of the first characters when I was like little. I had a PS3, and this PS3 came with the orange box. So this like we bought a little bit after, because my dad really liked Half-Life 2, and so I was like, "Here, Veni, here's the orange box. Do what you want?" My brother really liked Half-Life. I really liked Portal. I liked Portal a lot. And I remember being there when Portal 2 got announced, and I was like, holy shit! They're making a new Portal! I want to see more of GLaDOS! And GLaDOS says, like, it's decades old game. I can fucking talk about this. The whole Caroline thing, and like the whole...
I think about that a lot.
Her as a potato really utilized a lot more of her personality. It's not just, I am robot, I am here to kill you. No! She has feelings, she has personality. Stuffing her in a potato changed her as a character. Yeah. She acted so differently from what we were coming to expect from Portal. But like, it's so, such a good character.
I think a lot about the end scene where after Wheatley is trying to drag Chell into space and she just intervenes and saves Chell, and then briefly the Caroline personality resurfaces when she's sending Chell off. That bit always gets me. It's so subtle, but it's that subtlety that, I don't know, just feels that it hits very deeply for me.
Yeah. It's a well-written character. I really wish there was a Portal 3. Like, I've heard...
But you know what they say about Volve? You know what they say about that? They can't count to 3!
Yeah, I know. Like, I know I've heard many stories about, like, there are people at Valve who really want to make a Portal 3. But Valve is focused on the Steam Deck. Which, understandably so, but, like, you gotta have some fucking games as well, Valve. The last game you showed us was a VR game, which is great. I love Half-Life Alyx. But, like, we need a new fucking desktop game. Come on!
Come on!
There's so much you can do with
their tech demo with the Portal characters is great, too. Putting more thought and care into a 45-minute tech demo for the Steam Deck than
fucking desk job.
I know! It was so carefully written. I loved it. And the 50s inspired tech, like they're to say, oh, it's an earlier era of aperture science. I loved that. It was so... God, they really know how to make games.
They need to make more. God damn it. They really need to make more.
Yes!
Anyway, that is about it for our presentation. Oh shit, I need to add you to the fucking...
1 second. Browser. Motto.
You are here now. You are
Left?
alive.
I left?
You weren't on my just me screen. My Zatsudan screen. We're out of the
right.
presentation screen. I'm back here.
There we are.
You don't have your hat. I miss your hat.
I know, but that is just how it is when I am a PNG.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that is about it for our collab. Took a lot more time than I expected, but honestly, I had a really fucking good time talking about characters with you. Like, it was really cool. It was really fun. Thanks for coming on.
For sure, and likewise, I just love hearing about why people are passionate about the characters that they love. It's this, I don't know, it's a great way to get a sense of, like, what kind of, I don't know, characters are you attracted to in fiction? What kinds do you want to write about? Which ones do you find meaty and interesting, or just fun to write about, or stuff like that? I don't know, I always found that very, very fun, and so I enjoyed hearing about yours as much as I enjoyed talking about mine.
Yeah, likewise. Like, we're both very much creative type people, so hearing about what really inspires us is, like, you know, really, really good. I really liked it. So that will be it. For my schedule, I won't be streaming the rest of this weekend, so potatoes, you gotta wait until Monday for we are streaming Cult of the Lamb, so look forward to that. Any final words you want to say, Mato?
Thank you for listening to me and to Veni on her presentation. I had a lot of fun talking about there. Thank you to any Prickly Pals in the chat who came along too. It was lovely to meet you all, and if you're not a Prickly Pal yet, I am streaming tomorrow. I'm doing a Sketchy Saturday stream. I'll be working on the album art for Proto-Violence, so look forward to that, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, give Mato a follow. I just gave her a shout out. Give her a follow. She's great. I come on her stream sometimes. And play Proto-Violence and Malviolence. And maybe Bad Faith. I don't know. Do you still promote Bad Faith?
I actually remembered it's the second anniversary. I forgot. I'm sorry. Bad Faith was more like an experimental project for me to see, like, oh, can I work on a big visual novel by myself? But the Violence series is really where I'm developing characters and worlds and that sort of thing. Bad Faith is more like a proof concept, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back to its world and story someday.
Like, a friend of mine that you know, May, from a team that I won't talk about, but she's one of my mods. She knows you for Bad Faith. I know you for peak character design caution.
Right.
Which I think is probably what you want to be remembered more by for your Violence series.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, go check out her stuff. I will be streaming Proto-Violence Definitive Edition when it comes out, so be sure to have a look out for that. But otherwise, thank you Prickly Pals and Stotatoes for coming on to my stream, and I will see all of you Oh, you know what? Let's raid someone. I forgot to do that. Let's see if anyone's online. Let's go raid someone. Okay, let's do... Can I raid you? Let me... 1 second, Mato. Raid channel. Okay, so we're going to raid a friend of mine, Monsoon Kitsune. They are currently playing Tear Down. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Oh. Prickly Stoat raid time. That's your raid message. Go do that. Okay, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Okojo, and have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.